It is unthinkable that a naive, innocent 5-year-old girl who dreamt of being a princess when she grew up and had a whole life ahead of her could be violated and executed at the hands of ruthless criminals. But what really happened to little Kamarie Holland and the true culprit behind her sorrowful fate is even more unthinkable and is sure to send chills down your spine. In today's video, we will be discussing the case of 5-year-old Kamarie Holland. This case involves disturbing details of abuse and execution. Viewer discretion is advised. On December 13, 2021 in Columbus, Georgia, a 35-year-old mother of 4, Kristy called 911 and reported her 5-year-old daughter missing. She was a panicked, childless mother who claimed to have been woken up with her only daughter missing and the front door of the house left open. Less than 24 hours after the 911 call at 11:15 p.m., little Kamarie Holland's lifeless body was found in a cold, abandoned home in Phoenix City, less than 10 minutes away from the residence of Kristy. Her body was sent for an autopsy to recover DNA that could help in reaching a verdict later on. In an interview with WTVM-TV, Kristy, who also went by the name Kristy Hoskins, appeared how you would expect her to be, a heartbroken and traumatized mother who tearfully talked about how wonderful her little girl was. Young Kamarie had a golden heart. Her mother recalled an incident at a gas station where Kamarie pointed at a girl without shoes, asking her mother if she could donate some of her own shoes to her. She talked about how Kamarie was a caring, loving soul. She was her only daughter, and she lived only for her. How heartbreaking it must have been for a mother like Kristy to go through something like this. We can only imagine. Immediately after the 911 call, Columbus police launched an investigation and zeroed in on a residence in Phoenix City, one that belonged to Jeremy Williams, the first suspect in the execution of Kamarie Holland. The residence was abandoned and had within it the lifeless body of the poor girl. The 37-year-old suspect was then arrested the same day at the Bamboo Hotel where he and his uncle were staying. However, it was discovered that Jeremy Williams was not a new criminal, to say the least. What other heinous crimes had Williams committed apart from the kidnapping, violation, and sodomy of a 5-year-old girl who had her whole life in front of her? Williams had been previously charged with family violence and third-degree cruelty to children, having abused his wife in front of a child. More disturbingly, in 2009 in Marisault County, Williams had been accused of dipping a boy in a pot of boiling water, giving the poor boy severe burns. Now hold on to your heart, because the disturbing, nefarious nature of this man escalates further. In Alaska, near the North Pole, police reopened a case from 2005 involving the execution of a 1-month-old baby girl who passed away from blunt force trauma. Yes, you guessed it right. The 1-month-old baby was executed by her own father. However, investigators could not find enough evidence to convict Williams. Therefore, he continued to roam as a free man. The brutality he exhibited towards his own family shows how the heart-wrenching things he did to little Kamarie Holland must have been a walk in the park. But, ladies and gentlemen, the crimes of this heinous man get worse. A 31-year-old unidentified woman claimed that the night before the execution of Kamarie Holland, she was violated by Williams in his residence in Phoenix City. She had gotten into an argument with her boyfriend and was linked to Williams by a friend. She had gone to his residence on Dozier Street and claimed to have experienced an unsettling feeling around him. When she tried to leave, Williams blocked the door with a deep freezer and assaulted her. This next detail has to be one of the most disturbing things I have heard in a while. She reported that during the time Williams was assaulting her, he called her Kamarie. The crimes of Williams are shocking and disturbing and have to be some of the worst acts a human being can commit. They might have left you truly shocked and enraged, but the question arises, how was Jeremy Williams able to swiftly kidnap Kamarie Holland from her residence in the first place? You might have asked yourself that question during this video, and the police caught on too. Russell County Sheriff Heath Taylor spoke in a press conference and revealed a chilling discovery. Kristy Sipple and the offender, Jeremy Williams, had a relationship. Not from a dating perspective, but they knew each other. Another detail uncovered by the police was that Kristy Sipple was charged with the abuse of a fetus by taking substances during her pregnancy, leading us to believe that the relationship she had with Williams could have been surrounding the exchange of narcotics. This next detail will tug at your heartstrings and leave you in disbelief of how vile a human being can be. On December 28th, Kristy Sipple was arrested. What for? For selling her only daughter to Jeremy Williams so he could violate her. Yes, a 5-year-old girl sold by her own mother. Kamarie's father, who had primary custody of her, spoke to the news channels with unspeakable grief that we can barely fathom. The grief of losing his beloved little princess. The pain that Kristy has caused by ripping Kamarie out of our lives will never cease. Kristy is a monster. My family and I will continue to wrestle with the loss of our angel Kamarie. That's true grief right there. It's true. Every child deserves a mother, but not every mother deserves a child. As of now, the court has placed a gag order on this case and will not reveal details such as the price for which Kamarie was sold. It has been revealed, however, that Kristy Sipple has been charged with execution during the course of kidnapping, execution during the course of violation, execution during the course of sodomy, and human trafficking. The human trafficking warrant obtained by WRBL states that Kristy Sipple had knowingly subjected another individual into labor servitude. She had agreed with another person to pay for the violation of her child. Jeremy Williams will be facing the death penalty if convicted. Kristy Sipple, the wicked mother of little Kamarie, is facing life in prison because of her role in her daughter's execution. She is scheduled to appear back in court on August 19th, and the jury trial is slated to begin on September 26, 2022. Kamarie's father, Kamarie Holland, when speaking to news outlets, said, "We are glad to see that she has been arrested. We are one step closer to justice for Kamarie. We hope that justice is served. Kristy should receive whatever the maximum penalty she can get." We can only hope that the atrocious people behind the execution of Kamarie, Kristy Sipple, and Jeremy Williams receive the worst penalty possible. Kamarie Holland was an empathetic, loving child who did not deserve what was done to her. Her little cousin described her as someone who would always make her laugh, while another loved one said she would pull pranks and was the sweetest little girl she had ever met. I'm sure little Kamarie's lovable nature and kind heart will always resonate among those who loved her. It is cases like these that remind us to hold our children and loved ones close. It is truly a horrifying story, one of immense brutality, sheer inhumanity, and injustice. A story like this will always be scarring no matter how many times cases like these unfold. Kamarie's father, Kamarie Holland, still coping with the loss of his only daughter, ended his interview with a news outlet by saying, "I will never forget you, princess. I will forever keep you relevant in this life. I love you."
I will never forget you, princess. I will forever to keep you relevant in this life. Love you.
Truly heart-wrenching. Stories like these remind us that people like Kristy Sipple and Jeremy Williams are very often charged, but not convicted, and are free to roam amongst us. They may even try to get an insanity plea and not be held accountable for any of their crimes. It is the harsh reality of the world we're living in. What are your thoughts on this case?